Hi, it's Dave from Driving Venture. Welcome back to the channel. You join me here in middle of Cumbria, middle of nowhere. It's pretty cold. I've got the hat on, but today we're reviewing this fabulous Python Green Cayman GTS. So let's talk you through the things that stand out to me with this car. New to Porsche is the ability to spec black calipers. Obviously you can have them in PCCB, ceramic brake option. These are the standard steels, but the black with the green is the theme of this car. Love these black air intakes. I'd obviously have them on my Spider. Just in case you forget, you've got your GTS 4.0. Lovely black wheels, with the satin black wheels, and then that ties in very nicely with the back of this car. So I think this is an option they've gone for here, but you've got the Porsche logo in black. I've left the spoiler up, normally this would be down, but the button's pushed so it's up. And then you've got the diffuser there in the black too, and the black tailpipes. Very, very nice. One of the things about the Cayman that's really, really good, don't know this, is that in the back you've got this extra space. So if you're on a trip, there you go. So you've got room in here. Now with the Spider you can only get the boot up at the back when you're putting the roof away, or when the roof's away then you can access the boot at the back. So it's not ideal with this. It's available to be used all the time. So if you're on a bit of a trip, you've got some room, and you've got some cubby holes here left and right in the back. So yeah, a bit of space for you there. So yeah, got some nice storage space in the front there. Obviously not the biggest boot in the world, but you've got this, that coupled with the back, you've got a bit extra capacity with your trips. So it'll certainly do a weekend or a week in Scotland, no trouble. This car also has the Matrix LED light system. Okay, so let's talk about some of the little touches on this car which I think to help it to stand out a little bit. So we've got the Python Green key, so that's obviously a nice little extra there. This car is obviously a demonstrator. We went for the comfort no cost option seat, so obviously not as grippy as a bucket seat, but more comfortable for longer journeys, and these come heated too. In a cabin of any Porsche it's a nice place to be. So the fabulous thing about this car, spec'd in this glorious 6-speed manual. Absolute heaven to drive it. Obviously you can plug in your phone, you've got your Apple CarPlay. I think this has got the GTS interior pack, so you're getting your lovely carbon fibre inlays on the dash, and also this little surround here, it's very nice. So this demonstrator model's got the Alcantara wheel, but it's spec'd with the multifunction steering wheel. Comes with cruise control, so longer journeys again, makes you comfortable. Option comes heated, little button down here to put the heater on, which is quite nice. And you've got this little dial here, so you can go standard option, sport, then sport plus, and you've also got individual. So it just picks up the pace, the responsiveness of the engine. Inside the cabin again, we've got the face here, which is different on the 718 to 981. These vents look really, really nice. And then you've got your chrono clock ticking away nicely for us there too. In a very similar way to the GT3, you've got a suspension button here that firms up your suspension from standard to sport. That's your traction control. That puts the rear spoiler up permanently, or you can have it automatic above I think it's 60 miles an hour. Sports exhaust button, and this turns off the auto stop start. Now, I was doing a bit of homework on this car, knowing I was driving it today. And what really stood out to me was the price point of this car. It's £64,500 before the goodies. That's £10,000, 10,000 quid lower than a GT4. And as I've said in some of the other content you may have seen, you're going to have to budget, I think, for me, for some tunes in the back. And the exhaust system that I'm quite keen on would cost about £10,000. This car is tuneful. It is very, very, very enjoyable to drive. It does not have the chassis of the GT4, it's a little bit softer. It reminds me a great deal of the Spider that I had. Those 50 months of pleasure. But the pleasure's back because we are driving another fabulous 6-speed gearbox here. A welcome return to a 6-pot flat 6.2 in a non-GT car. So I think it does say something that Porsche was prepared to come back to the market with a 6-cylinder engine, having dropped it for a turbo 4-pot some years ago. Now I haven't got the figures on what a Boxster S would cost or what a Cayman S would cost before you move up to the GTS, but it's got GT in the name, and certainly as a car at the price point it's at, it's fabulous value for money. This car is specced with standard instrumentation dials. It does come with a green Python green key. It's got the Bose speakers. It's got the carbon fibre interior. It's really got everything you need. And again, you can have so much fun and enjoyment in this car, and you don't have to get into GT3 money, and I don't think you necessarily need to get into GT4 money, because this car, wait for it now, it's hard to believe it, is 0.1 second slower to the crucial speed of 62 miles an hour. Now that really says something too, because, you know, GT4 at 4.3, this is 4.4. You know, you're not leaving someone behind if you're in a GT4 over this. And you may have been someone that's been on the phone, so this dealer, then that dealer, then another dealer, and it's sorry, no allocation for a GT4. Although I think they are a little bit easier to get now, I think, when I can gather of it, but still, for lots and lots of customers, you're not going to get one. So I think certainly it's a car which is probably and should rightly be selling like hotcakes. This car has been loaned to us today very kindly by Porsche Centre Kendal, soon to be Porsche Centre South Lakes. The new facility is well and truly underway. So if you're in the market for a Porsche car and you want to deal with someone that's been selling them for 60 years, then you need to ring them, because you can't get that experience just by setting up as a dealer selling Porsche. No disrespect to the dealers that have newer to the market selling Porsche. But get in touch with them, because they're a great family-owned firm. They'll look after you. This car's available to test drive, and I think you really will enjoy driving it. Steering on this car, very nicely weighted. You can feel the front end, it grips in. Change direction so quick. You feel the weight again in the middle of the car. It's not hanging out the back like on the 911. And when you're pressing on, it gives you a lot of confidence, certainly gives you a lot of confidence. This is running 235 section front, 265 section rear tyres, so there's plenty of rubber on the road. Not as much as a GT car, but this actually has the same tyre dimensions as my Spider before I put the Cut 2s on for that last summer, before it went. Here we are, furthest bend here. Just picks up. And it's just such a joy to be driving a manual again. Is that 2 in a row? But oh heavens, it's so nice to change gear, it really is. And I think if you can, I think having a PDK, although this car is available in PDK, as we know, I think having it in manual is a driver's dream. It just is. You know, every PDK switch, the click of the fingers, you know, it's the same again and again and again. So you have different speeds, different environments, but the gear change, you know, you can do it gently. You can do it in slower speeds, faster speeds. Let's talk about the brakes now. I love the PCCB. The PCCB is really good, but it's very expensive. You're in at just I think about £5,600 for PCCB ceramic brakes. And the thing about that is that the question it really begs is that do you really need to put the ceramic brakes on this car? I don't think so. The brakes on this car are sensational. You know, you've got a lot of confidence to scrub that speed off when you need to. So ceramic brakes, probably not. And again, you're saving more and more of your money because it's got the performance. This car will be very comfortable on track, no doubt about it. It handles superbly. If you actually looking at this car and thinking to yourself, well, what would I use it for? Which is some fun, as a daily. It's practical. It's got a boot in the front. It's got a boot in the back. So it's got capacity to, you know, do a nice long trip to Europe or trip to the Highlands, and you get your luggage in, get your gear in. Obviously, it's only got 2 seats, so that's a consideration you've got to bear in mind. But as a car for pleasure and fun, the price point it's at, you can spec one of these very sensibly, and I think you can get a lot of change out to sort of like £75,000. I think this really well spec car could easily come in at sort of early 70s. You'd have an absolutely special car. You really would. There we have it, the Cayman GTS 4 litre, new to the Porsche lineup, fabulous car. Special thanks to Porsche Centre Kendal for allowing us to have access to this car today. Got a sensational car to drive, priced perfectly in the pecking order of the Cayman lineup. It's not a GT4, but it's not a long way away, let me tell you. Been a really fabulous car to drive today, really thoroughly enjoyed it. Thanks very much for watching today's video as well. Don't forget to subscribe and put the notification button on. Next time I do a video, you'll be notified. As always, I'll see you next time.